Hey, welcome guys. I'm back with another one. I have a story review, yes. Well, book review. Listen, guys, I read two books and they both was awesome, and I had to come to you today and share them with you. Okay, so the first book that I want to show you it's by Angela Johnson, and it's called Gone From Home. Yes. Yes, this is a great story. It's a light read, and it has a lot of little short stories in this book right here, guys. It's about 12 short stories, I think, maybe more, but they all are awesome. Some of them are scary, some of them are very sad, and some of them are little life lessons. I think you will enjoy this. Yes, it was what got me was when I was reading some of the stories. I had it in my mind that okay, this must be a boy that's speaking in the story, but come to find out it was a girl in the end, or right, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But it had a little mystery to it, and I was intrigued by every story that I read. I was just like, oh, and at the end it was just like, you know what I'm saying? You either was like, oh, or ah. It was emotional, a little emotional roller coaster right here, but it was a good roller coaster. It was a good story, guys. So I do recommend this. Like I said, it's Angela Johnson's um, Going From Home. Okay. Yeah, you need to check this out. Yeah. All right. So in the next book, guys, right here is this one right here. Yes, ma'am. This was amazing. Yes, I enjoyed this. Yes, it's called The Lost Book of Adana Moreau. And it's by Michael Zapata. Yeah, Michael Zapata, and this is a good book, guys. Yeah, it's like you going back and forth through time, and what happened was it was a girl, you know what I'm saying? She had her parents and they lived in this faraway land. And what happened was they had war there, and her parents wound up dying during this war. Yes, and so she was all alone. So she wound up leaving her home and seeking out a new home somewhere else in a new land. And while she was seeking out her new home, she found the love of her life. They wound up having a son and finding a new home. She found friends and whatever that educated her and taught her and got her into reading books. And so she decided to write a book of her own. Yes, it was like a sci-fi book because that was her thing. She loved sci-fi, science fiction books or something like or things like that. So she wound up writing this book, and it was a science fiction book, and it was like a bestseller. Yes, it was amazing. Her editor said, you have to do a sequel to this book that you wrote. And so what happened was she wrote the book, but she had got very sick doing writing this book, and she wound up passing away. But before she did, um, she wound up destroying the book. But her son read it prior to her destroying it. He said one day he was sitting on the kitchen table and he just read the book and he was amazed by it. He was like, "This is great," and he was kind of, he was like shocked that she destroyed it. And the editor was too, like, "Well, why did you destroy it?" And she was just like, you know, hmm, she didn't really have any words, but what happened was, now when you're going back and forth in time, now fast forward, this guy grandfather passes away, and he said, I want you to my last wish before I go, I want you to take this book and take it to this guy Maxwell Monroe, and that was Adona's son, and that was the lost book, the book that was quote unquote destroyed. Yes. So it was like a little mystery. It was like an adventure because he had to try to hunt this guy Maxwell down and everything. And it was history in this book and everything. I mean, they was going back from like the 1800s all the way up to maybe 2000 and maybe 5 or 6. Yes, it was a good book. Look, it was very good and it was intriguing. It was educational, and it was and at the end I was just like, wow, I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna start reading a little bit of science fiction novels just because of this book right here. Yes, it had me intrigued about all the books that they had read inside here and just gave you just a new outlook on the world and life itself, yeah, and all the possibilities. Okay, guys, so I would like to thank you for joining me, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. All right.